New members of all time joined the church officially. My youngest son, 12 years old, Enoch, joined the church officially. But here's our point: is we got a good policy. Before you're a worship leader, before you're a Sunday school teacher, we want you to go through membership. And so he said, Dad, I want to be more service. I want to help. I want to be involved. And so he set an appointment. He said, Dad, can I meet with you as the pastor to go over my membership? And I said, you know what? Yeah, why not? You might be the youngest certificated official member we've ever had. But you know what? If you don't get them young, you might never get them. So last night we called him up and gave him a certificate. So I got this book, and I hope that you'll look through it. And if you'd like to become an official member, we'll meet in my office. I'll get to know you. You'll get to know the church. And we want you to use your skills and talents. You might be an electrician like Andrew is and fixing up the lights around here. You might be a great chef. You might be good with kids. I don't know all your skills, but I know there's a lot of needs around the church. Amen. And if you see a need that bothers you, that's probably the Lord's way of saying you ought to do it. Because a lot of things just don't bother me. So anyway, well, let's continue our study as we're going through being a great joiner. Turn, if you would, to the book of Joshua, chapter 9 and chapter 10. There was a movie that came out not long ago with Leonardo DiCaprio entitled Catch Me If You Can. And it's the true story of a young man that was a bit of a con artist, and so he saw it was easy to pose as different people. He had a costume like a pilot, and he thought, hey, I'd like to be a pilot. So back then, security in airports weren't very stringent. He went right through security wearing his pilot outfit, got on a plane and told the co-pilot, I'm your new pilot, but I'm going to see how you fly the plane today. And he let the co-pilot do all the work, and he thought, this is working pretty good. He forged some documents. He started getting paychecks from the airline company. Pan Am was paying him a pilot's fee every time he was lifting off and taking off. And he did that for a while. He whitewashed some checks. And he was stealing. By the end of his run, he stole several $1 million. But he didn't just want to be a pilot. He decided he wanted to be a surgeon. So he got a surgeon's outfit. He went to a local hospital. He told everybody, I'm the chief of surgery. I'm the new transfer. He had the documents. Maybe they thought he was like Doogie Howser or something. And they went along with it. And he let the other doctors cut him open and let the nurses sew him up and say, you need to do a little better on those stitches. Or how's the patient in room 5? And he played the part so well for months. He was the chief of surgery. Then he said, you know what? I think I'd like to be a lawyer. So he went down to Louisiana and he forged some documents, and he worked for the state of Louisiana as a prosecutor, and he had some very good assistants that did most of the work, and every once in a while this 18-year-old would be before the judge. He conned him out of thousands, millions of dollars, and the FBI was hunting him down. He did everything he could to play the part. I want us to have a desperation. I want us to say, I want to join what God is doing. In Joshua chapter 9, it's the story of the Gibeonites. They're a little city-state that was located in the land of Canaan that God